So, I think this movie in particular is like the sole reason why some people know just like a little bit of like the Hawaiian language. Because what is the one word that everybody knows in Hawaiian or knows the Hawaiian word for? Ohana. And what does Ohana mean exactly? Yes, you are correct. It means cheesecake. Hey guys, what's going on? It's Daniel Strunk from QuickTime Reactions, and this was supposed to be the third video that I upload this weekend, but it is actually going to be the first one because my friendship review was kind of a bit janky. My light kept going on and off, so I'm going to redo that review and my Mission Impossible 8 review. I did not record because I got home really, really late and I was tired. So that will also be coming out relatively later. And of course, all the wrestling coverage that I have going on this weekend as well. Saturday night's main event and Double or Nothing. So there's that. But we are kicking things off with Lilo and Stitch. No, not the original animated film. It is the live action film, which stars Sydney Elizabeth Agudong. I'm hoping I'm saying her last name right. Maya Kiloha. Again, I'm hoping I'm saying her last name correctly. Hannah Waddingham, Billy Magnuson, Zach Galifianakis, and of course Chris Sanders coming back to voice the character of Stitch. And it is basically the live action adaptation of the much beloved animated classic, which came out all the way back in 2002. And I say that and it makes me feel so old. It makes me feel so old. And I think that this one, I've seen a lot of people, obviously, people have been saying, why make, these Disney live action movies? Well, in my head canon, the Disney live action movies aren't necessarily meant for people like me who have, seen all of these original films. It's meant for the next generation of Disney fans, where they can, watch this and, maybe, when we're older, we can say, hey, put on the original and watch the original. And plus, if you don't want to watch the new one, you can just always watch the original. It's right there. It's not going to harm anything. So why get mad about it? That's just my opinion. Now, granted, some of the Disney live-action movies have been pretty good. The Maleficent movies I really like. Cruella is actually my favorite of the Disney live-action movies. And then there are, of course, some of them that are like, why on earth did you make Lion King, especially as one that pops up in my head, is like I understand why you made it, but like, why exactly? And I think this one is on the better end of the Disney live action remakes. That because it really nails down the idea that is reinforced throughout the animated film, and that is family. I joked about it in the intro, but the one Hawaiian word that everyone knows from this movie is ohana, means family. And they really, really nailed down that that concept and that idea. And to me, that's what the original animated film was about. And I think they nailed that feeling down to a T in this movie. Maya Kealoha, I think, does a really good job as Lilo. It said in the credits that this was, it said introducing, and so that usually means that this is their first film. And I think she did a really good job of portraying Lilo. I think she did a really good job in this. And Sydney Elizabeth Agudong, again, I'm hopefully saying her last name correctly. I think she did a really good job of portraying Nani. The one thing that I was hoping that they would nail in this was the performance of Aloha Oi, which is like one of the big emotional moments of the animated film. And I think they did a really good job with that, translating that into live action here, changing up a little bit with it. But I think they did a really good job. Billy Magnuson and Zach Galifianakis as Pleakley and Jama, I think they did a really good job portraying those characters. Um, Especially with, like, us remembering the voices from when we watched it as the animated movie. There's that jarring effect of, like, not associating, like, the character with, like, the voice that we remember it. But I think they did a pretty good job of portraying those characters. They actually made a little change to Jamba's character, which, I can, see why they did that. But at the same time, it's like, it's a touch jarring, but I was able to, see past that for a little bit. Chris Sanders, of course, awesome as Stitch. Like, he's just amazing. Um, Dean Fleischer Camp was the director for this movie, and I think he did a really good job of not only recreating scenes from the original film, but also making entirely new scenes. Like, the third act of this film is pretty different from the third act in the animated film. And I appreciate that. Like, they didn't just, do Control C, Control V with the movie. They actually made some changes to the film. And I thought the changes were actually really, really good. I thought they were going to careen towards a decision towards the tail end of the film. And I'm like, oh, are they actually gonna do it or not? But it all turns out well in the end. Writing in this, Mike Van Weiss is one of the writers, and then Chris, it's not Sanders, but Chris, I can't remember his last name. Some guy named Chris. I think they did a pretty good job of bringing over the key dialogue from the original, but also adding some different stuff here and there in the film. And I think they did a pretty good job of writing it. But yeah, I would say live action Lilo and Stitch is a pretty solid film. Good performances, good writing, good direction. This is pretty solid. Again, not up there in terms of, like, some of the best Disney live action movies, but it's pretty solid. It is pretty solid. So, like I said, be sure to look forward to all sorts of content coming to the channel over this weekend. Not only the other movie reviews that I said that I'll cover, but also, like I said, the wrestling content. We have Saturday night's main event tonight, and also Double or Nothing tomorrow. Look out for predictions and my reaction to the event at some point over the weekend. And on Monday, Last of Us Season 2 finale. Look forward to that as well. But in the meantime, guys, be safe out there. And remember, if you have an aversion to water, make sure that you don't go into it, because you never know if you might sink like a lead balloon and you might drown. So be sure to have that on the brain. And I will see you guys next time.